An open mic night held on Thursday, July 26th at the Manchester Community Library to help bring together a younger slice of Manchester's demographic pie did its job, one musician at a time.
So I don't play in front of people that often.
Neither do I, man. This is our night.
I used to jam a whole bunch back in like 2005 to like 2010, back when I lived on Long Island. I had a lot of musician friends there. But haven't found so many people to play with around here so much. Trying to find open mics when down in Bennington, but...
Well, welcome, dude. We will make this whole series if you'll just come every time.
There was a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. I am lost in my mind, lost in my mind. Mama once told me you're already home when you feel love. I am lost in my mind. I get lost in my mind.
Organized by Natalie Redmond, a Dorset resident who works at Bennington College, and Andy Lacrosse, who works at the library, the open mic night was the first of what both hope will be more to come, and wound up drawing about 15 people who hung out for a few hours, heard an impromptu jam session, and got to meet some people they hadn't met before. Afterwards, we talked with both Natalie and Andy to get their takeaways from the open mic night, which they hope to continue going forward. It's not just for musicians either. Poets, comedians, and others with something to share could take the mic.
And I came actually sight unseen to the state. I had never been to Vermont. You know, you have kind of that, well, there's a lot of cows and maple syrup and Ben and Jerry's, which turns out to be true. But until I got here, I didn't realize, you know, the loneliness of moving in February or the challenges of trying to find a community in something where you're viewed as more of a rarity. You know, if you're in the one young person in an older rural community, you're going to be noticed for that. And so I was totally unused to those sensations. And after about a year there, figured it was about time to start putting my voice into that, because you don't want to jump into a conversation that you don't know anything about, is kind of the other part to that. Big power issues of housing and jobs, which are definitely the two, you know, millennial challenges in this area, are such big, intricate problems that need to be solved through a variety of measures. But something as simple as just, this is an activity, we're opening it up specifically for this age group, is something that I wasn't seeing anything of, and also very easy to fix. You simply have an activity and you open it up to that age group. And it doesn't mean that you can't have older people or younger people attend, but it does mean that that invitation is there. And both the libraries, Erica with the Bring Your Own Book Club event that we've been doing for a couple months now, and also Cindy with this open mic night, they were very receptive and very much approached me for that. And so I think that, you know, it's not that it's an unwelcoming community in the area. I think there's just a sense of where would we get started, and you do need younger people input to have an event for young people going on.
Be said of a social aspect. It can be pretty lonely, especially in the winter, as you said, when you moved here in February. My social interaction in February is work and going to the skating rink. It's very quiet here.
Yeah, and you move here and you think, oh my God, this is why Stephen King puts all of his books in Maine.
We have a family game night, but we don't have one for like adults, no matter, you know, like young adult or millennial or whatever you would like to call it. We don't have adult game night. Maybe that's what brings people in. Every population has a different thing that they like, something that makes them connect to others. And a lot of times there's an overlap, because Natalie was saying she wants to do a game night at Dorset, and everybody seemed really cool about that and really interested in it. So I think there's a few different things that we could do, and book clubs are just one way to explore it. And it is notoriously expensive to be in Vermont as well, because the land's expensive.
I'm sure it's not unique to Vermont, but it is specific, I think, is fair to say. There's probably other communities that encounter something similar, and then you get, totally opposite problems where you have your friends in New York, working multiple subsistence jobs to try to afford something that's available, but my goodness, expensive. And yeah, so there's a couple different
But then
combinations.
you can also have multiple jobs, whereas here it's harder to find multiple jobs or multiple people to share an apartment or a house with.
More open mic nights at the Manchester Community Library and more book club meetings at the Dorset Library may be the starting points for young professionals to find new friends and things to do at a time when larger towns and urban areas are seemingly attractive places to live. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.